My name's Tanya Rizza. I'm a nurse that works at PRHC. I'm a mother of three. I like to play sports. I cycle everywhere since in my 20s. So now that my youngest is 6 and my oldest is 12, we pretty much cycle everywhere in town, which is great. So my commute is fairly easy. I just go out to Monaghan Road and there's a bike trail that goes all the way up to Charlotte. And then I hang a left on Charlotte, onto Hospital Drive, and then straight up the hill to the hospital. The best part of that commute is that there's a bike trail all the way up Monaghan Street, and it's a nice wide street, which makes it really easy. It's a lot of climbing all the way there, because it's all uphill, which I don't necessarily mind, because at the end of a 12-hour shift, it's all downhill on the way home, which is really nice. It's a nice short commute. Probably takes me under 10 to get there and about 5 to get home if I'm really hustling, which is pretty comparable with the drive, the park, and the walk in to work. Plus I save a bundle of money on parking at the hospital. And I bike all year round as long as there isn't a ton of snow on the ground. So Charlotte Street is a little bit tricky. It shrinks in. And at the top of that long hill is a really tight bend. They've put sort of one of those middle aisles in. So that's probably the sketchiest part of my trip. Every once in a while I opt to the sidewalk depending on how much traffic there is, just because it is a very tight squeeze and I have to pull right over into the curbed area. And people get really nervous squeezing themselves through between me and that aisled area in the middle. Also, I find that even though there's a bike trail all the way up Monaghan, the bike trail doesn't merge at the main intersections. So up at Lansdowne, I'm forced into the right-hand turning lane of that light system unless I want to merge into that through lane in which I find people get very nervous, very vocal, and they tend to honk at me. There was one message I could put out there to people in cars is not to honk at people on bicycles, because the horn is super loud when you're outside of the car. I'm very aware that you're there, but when you honk your horn, it frightens me, and it increases that probability that I'm going to have some sort of accident and drive into you. Cyclists that are out there are very aware of the rules of the road. Most people are really good about using their signals. Most people are very aware that you're there. So just to be a little bit more comfortable about people on their bicycles, yeah, just be more comfortable with them being there and not be so fearful that something bad's going to happen.